Hey guys, welcome to Nerding Out, the show where us Gamespot nerds get together to talk about the shows that we like. And today we're talking about Westworld, Season 1, Episode 7, Trompe. And as always, there's spoilers ahead, so please be careful. Now let's jump in. Okay guys, Bernard is a host. Confirmed. We called it. Me and Austin called it. Back when we were talking about episode
By the way, guys,
4.
I'm the producer of this show. I think I called it first.
I'm pretty sure that me and Austin put those notes down.
I think it was us, yes.
Yeah. I wrote that doc, so there's that. There's that. I wrote the Google Doc for that episode.
Really
Anyway. Confirmed, Bernard is a host. And it was very hard to watch that scene, just the what door. It was
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's happening. It's confirmed. Oh. So I think that Ford is replacing humans with hosts. I don't know if Bernard was a human before that and he just replaced him. Maybe he was like this, the scientist, or maybe he's someone else. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it was much of a surprise to everyone here that he was a host, but the way in which they did it was so effective. I thought it was really cool. But I think that Bernard is Arnold, or at least the recreation of Arnold. That's no longer either he's passed away or he is somewhere hiding and kind of on his own, went rogue. I also believe that every single time we've seen Bernard talking to Dolores in that same basement, the basement looks awfully familiar, that might be actually Arnold speaking with Dolores during kind of the early diagnostics of the prototypes, the first gen hosts. I remember when we saw the photo that Hopkins shared with Bernard and said, "Here's a photo of Arnold," and visibly there's someone missing from that photo, and he can't see himself.
Yeah.
So that was glaring to me in terms of that Bernard is in fact Arnold.
Touching back on the multiple timeline theory.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that Teresa, who met her demise in this episode, will be turned into a host. And she will be working for Ford now.
Definitely.
So I think that's going to happen. So maybe it might happen to Elsie also? Maybe? We don't know. Poor Elsie. We didn't see her this episode.
She's still missing.
Yeah.
Who took her?
I know, who took her. But the real question is...
Hold on. Wait.
Yes.
About that.
Yeah.
Someone from the company took her. Teresa was broadcasting. So it's somebody from Delios that took her because she's now on leave. Did you guys notice that part?
Yes.
So who took her? Delios took her.
Leave, yeah.
Yes.
She's now on extended leave. Bernard's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
She's on vacation.
Okay.
She didn't tell
Sure,
me. Her boss.
She's on vacay.
Cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's chill. Whatever. Or it's friggin' Arnold bot, and he just made it seem like she's on vacation. He's like, I took her, and now she's on vacation.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't know. But the real question here is, who isn't a host?
Right.
Right? Like, with this Bernard reveal, it could be anyone. And I think it was very telling when they had that scene with the demonstration, and they're like, oh, the tech's a host, by the way. And you're like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
Anyone could be a host. So that was kind of foreshadowing for the whole Bernard thing.
So pushing on my Ford is a host thing. Did you see his face when he was watching that? He was such a host.
Yeah.
He was
Very
such
frozen.
a host. Just like,
That's just really good acting.
it was
That's just amazing acting.
that's
Just Anthony Hopkins.
Really good acting.
That's just Anthony
Mr.
Hopkins.
Hopkins, can you just do nothing for this scene?
He's really good at all those facial expressions.
Let's talk about Ford. So I don't know, he knows everything. He knows everything. So the speech that he gave, Austin, do you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah. So
that?
He gives this speech, when he's in the basement, and it made me feel bad for being a human. Because
Or a peacock.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
peacock.
Both suck.
But I went to the website this morning, as I always do on Mondays, and I was searching around for some stuff, and then I just started clicking around. That's how I search on the internet.
Really early internet
clicking
skills.
Fell
around.
down a wormhole.
Click everything.
Back when you
Click
used to
everything.
Click symbols
You'll
on
hit something.
HTML
Yeah.
websites.
So if you click your mouse on the logo on the main page,
Yeah.
it the page just breaks, and it starts showing Ford giving that speech, and the screen's cutting to snow and this and that, and then it's throwing up HTML on the screen and stuff,
Right.
which I looked through and didn't see anything that caught my attention. But that speech was, it was already epic, but I think they're leaning, that's definitely a key there. There's something in it.
There is something there, I'm pretty sure. So I also think that Ford's using all the hosts as spies. You know, that scene where Hector's tied to the bed?
Yep.
He could have just, got all that information. It's like, pay attention to all of Charlotte's conversations. Like, just do that. And so he was probably doing that with Bernard. So it was like, Bernard, pay attention to everything that Teresa says and report back or whatever.
And
so
at the end there, it says the blood
Yes,
sacrifice,
he
the
uses
blood
the
sacrifice
same
at the very
line.
end.
Yeah.
I mean, he's heard that before
used the
in
same
that
line.
conversation.
The same exact line.
I have something quick
Or
to
he
throw
programmed
in.
it, or what?
What? No, because Charlotte's not a host. I don't think that Charlotte's a host because I think Charlotte acts like
I
she's.
think Ryan thinks Charlotte's a host.
Do you think Charlotte's a host?
Who knows at this point?
You're like, I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna watch this show.
I just can't wait till the finale.
No, okay. Charlotte was treating. Okay. A human knocks on the door to audible sex noises. Charlotte opens the door nude and is like, "Yo, what up? Come on in. Business
like, "It's
relationships
chill,
are
whatever."
normal.
Potato chip.
She's like, do you need
I'm
a-
gonna eat.
do
I
you
don't
need a
care.
minute?"
I'm eating.
Yeah.
Everything that
Hand
she
me a
was
cigarette.
doing. Give me, yo, can I have one of your smokes? What is happening? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a different world.
What is going? She was treating her like she was just another host.
Yeah, like
she's
she's
in
in
the park.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, at that point, I was like, oh, Teresa's a host, obviously, and Charlotte knows it. But then later, Teresa got punched in her face, and now she is definitely a host. But still, that was a weird thing. Charlotte says the line, "None of the people that work here matter," which is like either corporations really suck, or Delios knows that everybody's a fucking host,
Yeah, that could
and
be it.
corporations
Yeah.
suck.
A little bit
There it
both.
is. Let's talk about Maeve really quick. So she doesn't freeze when all the other hosts did. So, like, is it her super intelligence that's letting her do that? So what would happen if Ford tried to freeze her? And, like, is she out of everyone's control? What do you guys think?
Want to break free?
And she's trying to get out. So, like, what
Yeah,
happens?
she's got the cheat codes.
What happens if she gets out?
Well, and yeah, that's a good point. We were talking about, because they say that line of your skin, everything is built
Keeping
to
you
keep
here.
you here.
Yeah.
So if she does get out, what happens?
She melts.
Yeah. Does she melt?
She shuts down, just like,
Yeah, I don't think she works outside of the park or outside of the basement and the park area. You know,
I
she's-
think she does.
You
I
think she
think
does?
I think the entire series is going to end with Dolores, like, actually getting outside of Westworld, and the sun hits her face, and she's like, "Oh, it sucks out here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
it
was much-
smells
I was
like
much more free
smog."
inside.
No, it's going to be like Dolores and Maeve get an apartment in New York City.
it's a
They
spin-off.
open
Vern
a
and
maid
Shirley.
service.
Spin-off.
Just super
And we'll have
buff
to
maid
wait 5
service.
seasons to see this.
That's
Great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of Dolores, let's talk about her and William. So I think that William still might be the Man in Black. I think
Yeah.
there's there's something there,
When he
especially
was-
with the way that he's talking last time.
Yeah, he talked just like the Man in Black.
So yeah, he's the Man in Black. Somebody was talking about and has talked previously about the whole Dolores. Oh, it's you that talked about the Dolores Man in Black scene in the barn.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
got a knife. What the hell do you think?
So my theory is that when the Man in Black is taking Dolores into the barn, he's not doing anything bad. He's actually saying, "Hey, remember me? I'm William. We were on this journey together."
We had sex on that train, girl, and then we made out like robots don't have morning breath. Robots have morning breath. That's gross. Y'all need to brush your teeth. I know there's not a bathroom on that train. Yuck.
That's true.
I mean, maybe something happens down the road here with that relationship, though, that goes the wrong way.
Robot baby.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
turns the wrong way. Not that way, but
Not
you
that
know.
way.
And then maybe down, 30 years later, it's a different relationship with Dolores, who he seemingly fell for this early on. I mean, he's still a newcomer to the park at this point.
Yep.
And to the corporation.
Did anybody else think the train scene with the Gatling gun and they send the horse out and the guy's wearing black? I was like, oh my God, is this where William becomes a Man in Black? Is he going to
I
be
thought
like,
for a second William was like, "Yo, you guys can't hurt me." Good job,
Yeah,
good job,
yeah.
good job, good
He's gonna
job.
take everyone out
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, same here.
No, I was hoping that was it, but he's still a wussy.
Yeah. All right. So next episode is called Trace Decay. Anyone have any theories for what happens next week, based on what the promo that we saw?
So, what did anyone read the definition of trace decay? I'm sure we all did.
Yeah, that's the
Trace
second
decay has two
definition.
theories.
Yeah.
One is a memory itself is decaying if it's not re-referenced in your head. So every time you think of a theory, it re-exercises those synapses. And then the other theory is that the path engram, like the pathway through your brain to that memory, is what diminishes, and the memory stays, but you have to re-access it, and the pathway loses. So that's why you can re-access childhood memories if a pathway just randomly goes to it sometimes. I personally think that this is just a re-reference to like the robots remembering things. I don't think that it's telling us anything special. I think that it's just robots are going to either start diminishing like their memories, or like Bernard, for example, is going to start remembering things about being like an Arnold or something.
Well, and he did say, I mean, in that trailer, he's like, "Why'd you make me kill her?" So he's already, I mean, he remembers killing Teresa.
Robots don't remember things that can hurt them. They can't see things that can hurt them. That was my Anthony Hopkins.
That was good.
Spot on.
That was very good.
Any other theories for next week or for the coming 3 episodes that are left? There's only 3.
We do see Teddy has a little flashback.
Yeah.
He sees something that he's seen before almost, maybe in a different loop, different timeline. So I don't know if they're referencing that.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to come at the end of the season. We're finally going to figure out what or who Arnold is, and we're going to see. So far, Ford has not had like an adversary that can even compete with him.
Not even close, yeah.
So I think he's going to get surprised, like, oh, this person can compete with me, and then, well,
Ford's a host.
Yeah, he's unstoppable. He's like just the mastermind behind it all. And
Ford's
someone
a
has to.
Ford's a host.
No.
Ford's a host.
What'd you say?
Ford's a host. Ford's a host.
Ford's a host. You heard it here first.
Were you the first one to say that?
Yes, he was. He was the first one to say Ford's a host.
Also the Bernard thing, but there's no video reference to that.
you can't claim them all.
Cut.
Join us next week. We're going to talk about Trace Decay, and for all things nerding out, stay with GameSpot Universe.